Welcome back to another episode of the Hotel Fit Show. I'm Leo Amarim, and I'm here to help you improve your physical and mental health around your crazy hospitality schedule. Yeah, if we haven't met yet, I'm Leo Amarim, and I am a big fan of Brussels sprouts. And I know that it is quite controversial to like Brussels sprouts. I get a lot of hate from this. I think some people get really funny when I tell them that I like Brussels sprouts. But actually, you don't know what you're missing out, because Brussels sprouts are powerful. If you have just a tiny bit of Brussels sprouts, less than 100 grams, you're already reached the daily fulfillment that you need of vitamin K. And vitamin K, it's a very, very important vitamin because it's the vitamin that's responsible for your bone strength and your bone density, which is awesome. Okay, so the more you have, the more your bones are gonna, the stronger your bones are going to be, and you're gonna live forever. If you have enough Brussels sprouts, you can live forever. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I like them grilled with a lot of garlic and pepper and salt. All right, let's dive in. Welcome to the masterclass, and today we're going to talk about the most powerful supplement ever created, and that is sleep, my friends. I'm going to teach you a couple of tricks to optimize your sleep. And yesterday, I posted a little poll here in Hospitality Fitness community, and most of you guys responded that you struggle having good quality sleep around your crazy schedule. And I remember that it used to be the same for me ever since I had started in hospitality. And even when I was just starting back then, when I was a waiter, I was doing late shifts and then early shifts and then late shifts and then early shifts with a big break, and then I will return in the evening for a dinner service and work until late, and the next day early again, and so on. And even though it was only 8 hours, it was still hard to find consistency in here, because I would never fall asleep and wake up at the same time each day. And also, I didn't know what my schedule next week was going to look like. And fast forward years from that, when my shifts were at least 10 to 14 hours, when I was the duty manager and also covering some night shifts, the situation became 10 times harder, and finding some consistency was indeed extremely hard. And so if this is the same for you, drop the word me in the comments below, and that lets me know you're in this situation as well. And I've probably mentioned this a couple of times before in different trainings, that I used to drive to the gym after work, and I used to fall asleep in the car in the gym's parking lot. I would just like rest my head back and fall asleep, only to wake up a couple of hours later and go inside the gym and do my workout. And this is when I started realizing, when this started happening a lot, I started realizing that I had to do something, not only about my training split, which was something that I spoke about last Wednesday on the time efficient exercise masterclass. So you can have a look and see it if you haven't yet, and if you're interested in knowing how to optimize your time in the gym. But also I had to do something. I had to do something about my sleep, because I was having a bunch of problems with it. So firstly, I was exhausted all the time. And the only way I would like kind of mitigate this exhaustion was to have exaggerated amounts of coffee. I would have double espresso after double espresso to keep me awake, because I wouldn't sleep enough. And also I would have like, my mood was worse because I would sleep 4 to 6 hours every night during the work week. And then like on my days off, on the first day off, I would always sleep like 12 hours, because for lack of a better word, I was dead. So I needed to have plenty of rest, and I would like just miss that day because I would be so tired. And on top of that, like the craving, Jesus, it was really difficult to stay on track with the sleep deprivacy when it comes to cravings, because we would have excellent French fries in the staff canteen that were difficult to resist. And also people would bring cakes to the office all the time. And also they had like these really nice cookies in the previous hotel where I worked, which was like those big chocolate chip cookies, some of my favorites. And so it would be difficult to control the cravings. And anyway, this is probably familiar for you guys, because that's pretty much normal for anyone who works in hospitality. And the thing here is that you probably cannot change that. Like, you probably cannot change that your schedules are going to look like that, whether if you're responsible for doing your own working schedule or not. Your working schedule will always be a consequence of the business levels of the market, and hospitality is unpredictable. So we need to actually focus here on what we can do. And the first thing that we need to do is to increase the amount, the quality of sleep, regardless of how much you sleep, okay? So if you sleep like very, very poorly and little, you want to make sure that during those rest periods that you optimize that. Because you might sleep 7 hours per day, but you wake up still tired and you feel like you have slept 4. And it could be the other way around. You can sleep 6 hours and wake up and feel like fully rested as if you were sleeping 9. And I've experienced both of us, both of that options. I prefer the second one. And just think that if you optimize the time that you are sleeping, even though it's not a lot, you can wake up and feel like you had 1 extra hour in bed, or an extra half an hour, which is already a lot. But most times it won't be physically possible for you to stay in bed for longer. But it is very possible to manipulate this quality of sleep that you're getting by just doing this simple hack that I'm going to show you. And before I discovered this, I remember thinking, like when I had like all these problems, I remember thinking, what can I do to improve my sleep besides of obviously exercise? And I started looking at natural supplements because I didn't want to take anything that wasn't natural. And this is when I found one supplement that completely changed my life. And I know that like this sounds cheesy, but trust me, it is not. And like when I started using it, I thought, this is crazy that I never figured this out before. And this supplement that I'm mentioning is magnesium. Okay. Turns out that magnesium is a very important mineral that has a vast amount of benefits that I'm not going to go through the benefits over here right now, otherwise I'll be here all day. But basically, one of the main benefits is that it helps like with your nerve function and also with your muscles. Now, most people are deficient in magnesium because for a lot of reasons. Could be a little bit of genetics as well. Maybe you don't absorb it as much naturally, but basically because people don't usually have foods that are very rich in magnesium. And even if you have those foods that are normally rich in magnesium, which are usually vegetables, those vegetables are the ones that you buy in the grocery store most often. They are produced with a lot of chemicals for fast growth, and they are not very dense in minerals and nutrients and vitamins. Okay, so basically most people are deficient in magnesium, and that's one of the reasons why it works so well supplementing with this supplement that is kind of works as a relaxation mineral, and it really helps on your sleep and muscle recovery. If you're like working out, it really helps on your recovery. And it was quite crazy. The first time that I've taken magnesium, the first thing I felt was like my legs were really relaxed and I had such a good sleep. Like the next day I woke up feeling really rested. And I remember having dreams that night, like when I first tried. And I never used to have dreams because my sleep was such a crap and I would have so much coffee. And so, as I said, I've done all this research. I've come across this awesome supplement, and ever since then I've been using magnesium before sleep and as a regular tool. I recommend this to everyone. I recommend to every single client of mine. It's super cheap. If you're training, it's also great. It's also great for you. And so if you want to know more about this, and if you want some specific recommendations about the supplement that I use, just hit me up with DM and I'll send you what I recommend. And just to wrap up this training, I'm just going to drop one last tip. Okay, what is something that you can stop doing, right now, that is going to exponentially improve your sleeping time? And the answer is not using your phone in bed. And this is something very common that people do these days. But what you need to understand is that the blue light from the screen will excite your brain and delay your sleeping time. So instead of you sleeping 8 hours, going to bed and sleeping 8 hours, you'll end up sleeping 5 or 6 just because you were watching funny cat videos on social media until late, or you are falling asleep watching YouTube. Okay. And my question for you is, what is more important to you, the funny cat video, or watching the last episode of Family Guy, or waking up the next day fully rested, fully productive, blasting off, fully ready to be the best hospitality leader ever, the best with your customers, the best with your team, to have like a happier and more fulfilling day? What would you choose? And I think as a hospitality leader, you know what's the right answer for this. And guys, that's it for today, for this training. However, if you think that's all I have on sleep, this is just the tip of the iceberg, because I got a whole sleep protocol with crazy stuff. But these ones are, these two recommendations are two really good ones for you to have and to start utilizing right now. So if you found this training useful, this quick training, if you found this useful and valuable, give me a thumbs up, let me know in the comments. If not, that's totally cool as well. All right, so keep being awesome, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you so much for listening. And if you found this content valuable, you can find additional help for free by joining the Hospitality Fitness community on Facebook at thehotelfit.com or facebook.com/hospitality fitness community. There's a ton of cool stuff happening, as well as a massive amount of free resources and information. So join us at the Hospitality Fitness community.